up and starts talking about this stuff, you know, I can already see some of you guys thinking, oh boy. But I will try to keep this as light and as untechnical as possible, because even for me listening to my professor talk about this stuff, it was very boring. You guys already know about my background, so I'm not going to go too much into that. But what I want to focus on today is a little bit about, you know, what it is that you're building and whether or not you really are able to leave this to your children. Now, in my industry, I know that if something were to happen to me, there's no way that my little 6-year-old and my 1-year-old can run my law firm. Impossible. And in a lot of industries, it's the same way. There's no way that your daughter or your son can go and take over your nail salon or your restaurant at a young age. And even in some cases where they may be older and they are able to, you may not want them to. I talk to a lot of people in my business, and when I deal with their estate planning, I ask them, what is it you want? Who is it that you want to leave the business to? Who's going to run your business? Do you want your son and your daughter to run your business? And so many times I hear my clients say, no, I would never want my child to work in this industry. I don't want them to slave away at this work like me. So what happens to your legacy? Your whole entire life's work, and not a single child wants to take it. Or not a single child is able to take it. But with Nu Skin, it's completely different. Unlike other industries, this business is a business that is completely transferable, and it's seamless. The company has thought about it all, and they've written it down in very concrete ways for us to understand. Now, this is just a little bit of background about my... Sorry, a little bit about my law firm and my associates here. Very proud to be a minority-owned business, female-owned business. I always tease that I hired these two guys here to fill my quota here. But very proud of what I've done, but I also know that there's no way I can transfer it. And so when my friend had approached me and talked to me about this whole Nu Skin business and leaving it to my child, I was very intrigued about it. And so, as my husband had mentioned, I'd come through the company through my product experience. This is my before and after picture. Now, coming from a legal perspective, I was very technical. I wanted to see, you know, what section it was in, how this business worked. Is it real? What's all this talk about willing it to your children? Where can I find it? And so I was conducted some very intensive research about it. Just some interesting statistics for you to learn about today. 50% of Americans don't have an estate plan. What does that mean? You know, it means that you're not prepared for what's going to happen to your family should something happen to you. Who's going to pay your mortgage? Who's going to take over your business? Who's going to care for your child? A lot of us, we're scared to think about death when it really comes down to it. And this is when I see people in my office and they come and they talk to me about an estate plan, a lot of times they are elderly people who usually have very small estates to leave back. But what a lot of young people don't understand is that they need to have a plan for what happens to their family if something should happen to them. Because I know that a lot of you in this room, you're already running very successful businesses, generating a lot of income. But if something should accidentally happen to you, that income is instantly gone. It's not there. You're not thinking about who's going to take care of your family if something happens to you. Okay? In any other industry, even in the insurance industry, I was just talking to somebody earlier. He told me he spent 2 years in Vietnam, one of my new downlines, 2 years in Vietnam building an insurance business through Prudential. He finally got his immigration papers, came here to the United States. Prudential wouldn't let him take any of the clients. He doesn't own that business. He doesn't own that client list. So this is a very scary statistic to look at when you see that you're probably not planning for your family, and your spouse that you're leaving behind is likely going to be suffering. For those of you that are single and, you know, who don't have a estate plan yet, or don't have a life plan, let me tell you, I also do divorces, and the plan of marrying the rich guy to have him take care of you, that doesn't work out. You know, so many times I see that people who do very well during the course of their marriages, all of a sudden you know, when you get divorced, all of a sudden your husband ends up being very poor on paper. So you need a life plan for yourself. And with Nu Skin, this is how you're going to get your name on some type of residual income. That doesn't matter, you know, where you're at. You can move anywhere you want, and you can leave it to your children, and the company will find a way to transfer it to your sons or your children very seamlessly. Okay? So, with me being from a legal background, I wanted to see exactly in the fine print where
I've never seen that in my 5 years now.
Because when my friends kept talking and talking, you saw Hyde before. He's a very fast talker. And so he kept throwing stuff at me, and I'm like, okay, sounds good. I know you're feeding me and everything, but where's the paperwork? Let me see the paperwork. And so, you know, what I did was I went and I had looked into the policies and procedures of the company. And if you guys go online and you go to the section 4 of the policies and procedures, the company will have a very clear outlined plan as to what happens to your commission and what happens to your distributor account once you pass away. Okay? So what it does is it allows you to transfer your business by will, or if you haven't got a will for yourself, by intestate succession through your local state laws, to anybody that you want, or to a trust, or through whatever trust or device you may have already set up before passing away. Now, unlike other businesses where if you don't have a game plan, perhaps your nail salon or your other business will collapse within 24 hours of you not being there. Nu Skin also has your backup plan. What's going to happen to you? Who's managing your teams if you're not there and you haven't prepared yourself? Well, Nu Skin's also outlined who's going to manage your team and take care of your account if you are not there to take care of it. And they've outlined very clearly in their policies and procedures that the Blue Diamond upline will be the person that's going to help you manage the account. This is so important, okay? So important. Why is it important? Because if something happens to you, think about the grief and the trauma that your wife is going through, that your children are going through, and the suffering that they're going through when they have lost you through either, you know, old age or through an unforeseen accident. You know, they're going through a lot of that time. And they're not going to want to be taking people to BBs. They're not going to be in their best rah-rah, let's go recruit him mode. No, you know. But Nu Skin doesn't want your entire business to collapse when you're not there to meet your volumes, when you're not there to train your teams, when you're not there to be the motivator. What they've done is they've outlined a mechanism so that the upline Blue Diamond above you can help you manage that. And of course, we all know this is not a business that is completely without work. And so that work, that motivation that the upline Blue Diamond is doing for you, of course he's going to get a small commission until you're able to make that transition back into the team. And if you decide that you're not in the position to fully make that transition, as long as you understand the compensation system, as long as you understand what it takes in order for you to continue earning commissions, if you build your team to a level to where you can just step away and watch the team run itself like a well-oiled machine, just think about the type of peace of mind that you have when you have this type of vehicle to act as another life insurance policy for your children. You know, think about what your children will have if they are young children and you're not there to take care of them. And so when I saw this in the fine print, you know, it just solidified my belief. You know, between being acne-free and having policies and procedures being clearly outlined, I thought, wow, what an amazing company. What an amazing opportunity for us all to be participating in. And the timing is right for us to all be looking at this as the next vehicle for us to make that change. And last night when I was at the recognition ceremony, I had mentioned to all of you, I had never participated in any type of corporate structure or legal practice or any type of business where there's so much love in the room. And so that was the other aspect that brought me to the company. And I just want to share a quick story about Terry and Ben, because I remember my first event I went through, and everyone was like, oh, that's Blue Diamond, Terry and Ben, and they've done this and that, and, you know, very powerful people. And I was just like, wow. You know, you're almost scared. You want to kind of touch them and see if they're real, and, you know, you're scared to talk to them. And when I got introduced to these two wonderful people, you know, Terry just gave me a big hug and welcome to the team. You know, let me know if there's anything I could do to help you guys. I was just so impressed by that instant, you know, embrace into the Nu Skin family. And so it's that feeling that I get when I come here to Nu Skin. And so I'm so happy when I see all of these new faces here, because I know that without Nu Skin, I would not have been able to meet all of you amazing people, and I learned something from each and every one of you every time I get introduced to you. And so I'm blessed to make your acquaintance. And I hope that if you guys ever need anything, you know, please contact me, because I'd be more than happy to tell you more about the policies and procedures. And then, you know, if you need a divorce, I can.
All right. Okay. So, folks, once again, thank you so much, Jen. Phil, I know you're an army man versus a lawyer. You are in trouble, my friend.
Yeah, I got my plan. I got my backup plan.
Why you guys share why? Okay.
Thank you so
Go and
much.
build a big team.
Thanks.
So,
Amazing. So thank you so much.
folks.